who's here to share with us a couple of tips and recipes that can get healthy eating and your kids involved in this year's holiday meal plans. Now, Candice, what is it about the holidays that makes people eat so much food?
Karen, most of us cooks, we love our family with food. And our cooking traditions are closely linked to the holidays. Holidays such as Dia de los Muertos, the Feast of Ramadan, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. The holidays, they can be a wonderful thing. They bring us closer to the friends and family that we don't see all the time. They can also be bad in that we're consuming a lot of calories when we're trying to watch what we eat. According to the Cooking Light magazine, November and December 2005 issue, a person can sit down and consume 4,000 calories in a single feast day. Not only that, some of us will gain between 5 and 7 pounds November through December.
So what can we do to prevent gaining those extra pounds?
I like to think that if we plan ahead and watch what we're eating carefully, we're better off. Most of us eat out of stress. So if we try to eat our 5 fruits and vegetables a day, we'll not only be having a happy holiday, we'll be having a healthy one as well.
So what kinds of healthy snacks can you recommend to everybody?
Thank you for asking. I have 2 students here, Tiana and Ariana. I recommend that we have a fresh vegetable platter. You can see that we've got beautiful red ripe tomatoes, we've got these gorgeous yellow and orange and red peppers, we've got crunchy jicama, we've got carotene in our carrots, and we have a low-fat reduced ranch dressing. This is much better than a cheese and cracker plate. Thank you very much, ladies. I also like to think that we could put an edible centerpiece on our table. It's got grapes and pears and oranges, and we've got 5 colors that'll really help us eat our 5 a day. Not only that, but I think it's a good idea to keep our fridge stocked with plain and flavored water and to cut back on those sodas that are so high in sugar and calories.
Now, what about diet sodas? Are diet sodas okay?
Thank you for asking, Karen. Diet sodas are okay in moderation for adults.
Now, Candice, I know some of the concerns of moms out there is that they want to make the perfect holiday meal. But what are some ways that we can cut down on stress in the kitchen and still spend time with our families?
That's a great question. I like to ask for help, and I start by asking those that are closest to me, my family and friends. I have today Raquel and Sandra. And when you ask your children into the kitchen, they can peel potatoes for you, they can set up a vegetable tray, they can set the table. These are things that they can do and that they do well. You spend time with them and they spend quality time with you. Thank you very much, ladies. Some of the other things that we can do are prepare lists. Do your shopping in advance and purchase prepared foods. It's wonderful to go ahead and make those pies and candies and cookies, but it takes a lot of time. It's much better to go ahead and buy a prepared pumpkin pie or apple pie. And instead of making whipped cream yourself, why don't you buy a luscious reduced fat cream topping? That's really helpful and it cuts out on time. Also, you may choose to assign casserole dishes to your family members so you don't have to do all the baking yourself.
So what other things can I do to prepare in advance?
One of the things that we can do in advance is to prepare our potatoes in advance. Put them in the refrigerator. What if we made our casseroles, the green bean casserole, or tamales? These things refrigerate overnight beautifully. So does stuffing and dressing. And last but not least, let's season our meat 24 hours ahead of time. By letting it rest in the refrigerator, it absorbs all those flavors and it doesn't need to be basted with so much butter.
Okay, so Candice talked about how we can reduce stress in the kitchen by preparing in advance and letting your kids share some of the responsibilities in the kitchen. So the big question, I guess, is, Candice, what can we do to reduce the fat and the calories in some of our favorite holiday foods?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to start by just reducing fat, but we're going to increase seasoning. And let's take a basic recipe, mashed potatoes. When it's made traditionally, do you know that it can have 26 grams of fat per 3/4 cup? But the way we're going to make it, it'll only have 5.4. So what we have here are potatoes that we've already cubed and diced. And I have placed cold water on these potatoes.
Now, why are you using cold water versus hot water?
The reason we put cold water on it is that if you use hot water, it releases the starch in the potato too soon. So this way it stays cold. We're now going to add some salt to the water and my little chef's secret, 2 bay leaves.
Now, why did you just add salt to that?
The reason we add salt as an advance is when you're reducing fat, you want to layer your flavors. So now that we've done this, we're going to go ahead and put this on the stove, and we're going to boil it for 20 minutes or until the potatoes are just done.
While Candice takes care of our potatoes, let's recap some of the helpful holiday tips she shared with us today. To lower stress in the kitchen, you can prepare shopping lists, shop for food in advance, and purchase prepared food. Other helpful tips for a stress-free cooking: prepare your food in advance, refrigerate these foods, and season your meat at least 24 hours before you cook it. Now let's get back to our cooking. Now Candice, is this going to taste good if we use reduced fat, sour cream, and milk?
Yes, Karen, it will. We're only reducing fat. We're not removing all of it. What we have here are some potatoes that we've just boiled and we've just drained them. I'd like to caution you to be careful when you boil your potatoes, not overboil them. And when you drain them immediately. If you leave them soaking in the water, they'll get mushy. So, here's 1/4 cup of real butter. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and mash these lightly, just enough to coat the potato. Once we've done that, we're going to go ahead and add 1/2 cup 2% milk. We're going to add 1/2 cup fat-free, low-sodium chicken broth. This is the time where if you really want to get some exercise, and be careful so you don't splash there, you mash it all up like that. And be real careful with it, but make certain that you get the consistency that you want. You see how that's starting to get nice and creamy?
Yeah, that looks good.
And who'd have thought it'd look like that without cream? Okay, now what we want to do is stir in 1/4 cup of reduced fat cream. We're going to put in 1 teaspoon salt. Remember, we've been layering our flavors up to this point. So we've got butter and salt. Now we're going to put in some pepper. Put in just 1/2 teaspoon pepper. And again, I want to caution you, a recipe is just a guideline. If you want more salt, more pepper, less pepper, you can have that. Look at how creamy those are. Look at that.
Good.
Doesn't that look good? So there we have it. 5.4 grams of fat instead of 26.
Thank you, Candice. Now she's going to show us how to reduce the fat in some of our favorite holiday casseroles. Now, Candice, I know that my mom makes the best broccoli casserole with fried onions and creamy mushrooms, but I know that's loaded with fat.
And Karen, you're right, it is. What we're going to do is let's stay here in our kitchen and let's take a traditional green bean casserole and give it an updated makeover. Jonathan, would you come in and snip some green beans for me, please? What we have here is we have some fresh green beans, not canned and not frozen. We're going to snip them into 1 or 2 inch segments, and then we're going to add 4 teaspoons of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Thank you, Jonathan. Good job. Once that's done, we're going to go ahead and toss evenly to coat all of the green beans. Then we're going to take a preheated cookie sheet that we've got, and that cookie sheet will have been in our oven for 10 minutes at 425. You're going to lay them out in a single layer, and you're going to bake it for just 8 minutes. Okay, in the interest of time, Karen, what I've done is I've gone ahead and prepared this for us in advance. So let me bring that out so we can taste that. So here we have some toasted fresh green beans. You see the lovely color we have on these? These aren't the anemic type you might think you'd be getting at all. Doesn't that look good? And smell how good those are. Isn't that excellent?
I can't wait.
And let's try some of these wonderful mashed potatoes as well. Look at how creamy those are. Don't those look good? Remember, you've got 1.6 grams of fat in the green beans as opposed to 10, and only 5.4 grams in the potatoes as opposed to 26. So Karen?
So I guess we're ready for a taste test.
All right. Wow.
I love the flavor on the green beans.
They're toasted and tangy, just a little bit of pepper.
Sounds good to me. Now, if you'd like a copy of some of our featured recipes here today, you can log on to their website at www.usdnutritionnetwork.org, or you can call the number on your screen, 310-349-1630. Well, thank you so much for sharing all these tips with us here in the kitchen today.
Karen, thank you for having me. I've loved being here.
Let's bring out our guests.
Hey, come on in,
and our
kids.
helpers.
Tiana, and Ariana and Sandra.
Thank you
and
so much
Raquel,
for helping
Jonathan.
everybody. You guys did a
Thanks,
great
guys.
job. Okay, well, I guess that's it. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Karen Matsumoto, wishing you a happy, healthy holiday season. Hear from everybody at HCTV and the Nutrition Network. Bye.
Bye.
Those dishes looked fabulous. But if you are like me, you still may indulge a bit during the holidays, making our #1 New Year's resolution to lose those extra pounds. Reporter Julian Reyes recently hit the streets to find out some other popular New Year's resolutions.
I'm here in the big, beautiful city of Hawthorne, and I asked several people in the community that holiday question: what is your New Year's resolution? And here's what they had to say.
Quit smoking.
Make more money,
Okay, and how are we going to accomplish that, you think?
get a job.
My New Year's resolution is to not make a New Year's resolution because I always break them.
Is to be good and try to follow the rules.
I don't have one. I'm not sure if I'm going to make one, but I don't have one right now.
Try and make resolutions throughout the year. I don't really specify New Year's as the date to do it.
To be a little more girly. I'm a tomboy.
My New Year's resolution is to have more money than I had last year.
Oh my
So
gosh.
hustle.
Okay, are we running low this year or what?
Not running low, but I could always be doing better. Anybody can.
Save some money and not blow it all as soon as I get it.
I had a lot of expectations, but try to keep in the school, to have my license for be a nurse.
To be a better person. To be more helpful, to be more humane, just to be a better person.
I don't want to say my real one, but just to have a healthy, good life for the year.
I spent a lot of money this year, and I end up going bankruptcy, paying all my payments, and come back to another house, buy another house, and move on to a better life.
Be a little more patient.
Okay, and why, you're not a patient person?
No, I am, but I tend to react a little more abrasive than I want to.
To finish college and make something of my life.
My New Year's resolution this year is to exercise more and eat healthier.
To at least take one vacation.
Okay.
I haven't taken vacation in 5 years. I'm a bartender. So to take one vacation would be great.
I'm here with Lucy and Norma, right? Okay, so tell me, what's going to be your New Year's resolution?
To lose some weight.
Okay. What about you?
To go to the gym more often.
To get more money.
To lose some weight and start fresh in the new fresh life. Yeah.
My resolution is for peace, love, and happiness. And my resolution is to win the lotto and help the people them downtown who are hungry, cold, homeless, and the people that in the hurricane. I want to build houses for them.
There you have it. Now we know what many people in the community are going to strive for this upcoming new year. Reporting for HCTV, I'm Julian Reyes.
Coming up after these messages, Christmas trees are beautiful, but they can also be dangerous. We'll explain. And we have snow right here in Hawthorne. But first, here's another holiday trivia question. See if you know the answer.
When did Christmas become an official government holiday in the United States? A, 1870, B, 1904, C, 1790, or D, 1939? The answers when we return.
I'm Officer Cognac of the Hawthorne Police Department. Have a happy holiday season, and please, drink in moderation. And if you do drink, use a designated driver. All the police departments in the South Bay will have extra officers on patrol. So arrive alive, don't drink and drive.
Happy holidays from HCTV, Channel 22.
And now the answer to our trivia question. When did Christmas become an official government holiday? If you guessed A, you guessed correct. The bill to make Christmas a holiday was signed by President Grant on June 28, 1870.
Welcome back. Fire safety might not be the first thing on everyone's mind when you think of Christmas trees. But as Bobeth Yates tells us, there are a few steps you can take to keep you and your family safe.
Flames burning at temperatures that exceed 2,000 degrees. The sizzling of your personal